That's nursing school. That's step number 4. Step number 5, and y'all, it ain't even done yet. Like, hello everybody, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your girl, Rye. I am so happy that you guys are back with me today. It's gonna be a very brief video talking about how can you become a nurse. So if that's something that you're interested in seeing, please stay tuned for more. All right, you guys, sorry. Something that a lot of you girls have been asking me about is how can you become a nurse? So I just kind of wanted to do like a very short video, just kind of explaining what is a nurse and kind of how can you become a nurse yourself. I have been doing a lot of vlogs and things about like traveling or about being specialty nurses, like an ICU nurse or a pediatric nurse. And I guess I kind of just want to break that down a little bit and give you guys the keys to success so that if that's something that y'all are interested in pursuing, that you know what you have to do to get there. So let's just start all the way at the beginning, because my channel, I have girls that, just, you know, a few girls that are still in high school. Primarily, I think most of my followers or my subscribers, I think you guys are all, you know, adults and stuff like that. But first and foremost, you will need like your high school diploma. So I just want to start there. I think like the best thing, if you know early that nursing is something that you're interested in the early years of high school, then definitely make sure to try to like get enrolled into, and I'm so sorry you guys for my voice. Please do not judge me. I am recovering from COVID. It's now been almost like 2 weeks now, but like my voice still sounds weird. So anyways, let's start with high school. If you know already early on that like nursing is something that you're interested in, then one good thing that I would recommend for you girls to do is to get into like health science courses. If there's like additional science classes that you can take. But yes, get good grades in high school so that you can get into a decent program. Now, when you get out of high school, there's 2 different avenues that you can take. You can either do the ADN program or the BSN program. I'm not going to spend too much time in this video. I have done one about a year ago where I explained the difference between ADN, which means Associate's Degree of Nursing, and BSN, which means Bachelor's of Science in Nursing degree. Those are the 2 options that you have coming out of high school, where you can, either way will get you to being a nurse. ADN programs are 2 years versus BSN programs are 4 years. So it kind of just depends on your situation and kind of what makes the most sense for your life. But I would say, you know, just a quick synopsis, definitely go check out that video if you want more like in details of what the difference between the 2 are. But really quickly, an ADN program would essentially be if you go to a community college, and then a BSN program would be if you go to like a 4-year university. Now, I think there's pros and cons with each one, but essentially you have to get nursing school. Like, that's nursing school when you go from high school to a nursing program. And those programs, regardless of whichever one that you choose, that's going to be where you take like all of your courses. They're going to make sure that you have like all of your science and all your math and all of your English courses that you need in order to be like adequate. And so then after that, then they start with giving you clinical time. You'll go inside of the hospital. You'll be working like on different types of units based on the class that you're in at the time, and kind of just learning, you know, one-on-one, like what is it like to be a nurse, like in the clinical aspect. And then the other portion of your program is going to be your in-class stuff, where you're kind of learning like your foundation of like different disease processes, different treatments, different procedures, different labs required, and things of that nature. Nursing school essentially is a combination of those 2 things. Regardless of if you do the ADN or the BSN, both programs are going to comprise of your book smart stuff, which is going to be the foundation in class, and then it's also going to include your clinical stuff, which is the practicing the skills. You'll do like different skills labs. They do skills labs where you can like go and practice different skills, like starting IVs or how to administer medications, etc., etc. They have different videos. They have different simulations and things like that that you'll do. And you also get to go inside of the hospital and actually do stuff. one thing that I'll say is make sure that you girls like definitely research the programs that you're going into. Like, say for instance, where I come from in the city that I live in, they have ADN programs, and you know, I support either way. I do have my BSN now. My nursing journey was not traditional. I definitely started at a 4-year university, ended up transferring out to a 2-year community college, got my nursing license, and then after that I went ahead and I went back to school to get my BSN later. So, but anyways, so let's get back on track. You're in the classroom and you're getting like all of your foundations that you need. What I'm gonna say is make sure that you research what program you go to, because listen, I was in my ADN program and I was doing clinicals and stuff at the bedside. We got way more clinical time than the 4-year university girls did. It seemed to me that when the BSN students came in, they knew so much about book smart. Like, they knew everything in the book, but they didn't know how to operate in real life. I think it's different. I think in the BSN programs, they kind of like wait until you're like on your 4th year or something before they finally let you start getting clinical time. I actually think it's your 3rd year, but regardless, when you do an ADN program, you're at the bedside your very first semester. So it's kind of like we were more confident in our nursing skills. They were more confident in their book smarts, but in real life, you need the real life stuff. I mean, the books are only gonna get you so far. With nursing and nursing practice, it's really like the real life experience that's gonna get you where you need to go, because nothing is ever really gonna be like the textbook. That's just, you know, a little sidebar. So make sure when you're researching your programs that you're choosing a program that's gonna actually let you get hands-on practice, because the nurses, they knew when the students were coming from certain BSN programs, because they could tell like the girls didn't know what they were doing, they didn't feel confident in themselves, and they also too were just kind of like, you know, they were just lacking that like go get it hands-on thing. They were kind of scared. Versus us, it's like we're getting in there like, please let me see, please let me do like as much as I can, because like that's what we know, you know what I mean? And I think too it's helped me with my nursing practice now that I'm on my own. I think all of those experiences definitely work together to help me. But now let's move on. So step 1, get your high school degree, get good grades in high school so that you can get into a good program. Step 2, getting into a nursing program. You need to decide whether that's going to be ADN or BSN. Step 3, meeting all of the requirements that it takes for you to start that nursing program, whether it's ADN or BSN. That's step 3. And I say that because certain schools, like if you go to a 2-year school, they require different entrance exams that you have to take. I know that one example of one is the TEAS test. It's TEAS, TEAS. They test, it's like a comprehensive exam. They test like on your reading, your writing, your mathematical skills. They kind of just test all of the above, and you have to score a certain minimum in order to qualify to be able to start nursing school. So I would just make sure that you're looking at all the program's requirements, because each school might require a different entrance exam. They definitely have application fees and stuff like that. Also, what I will tell you, when you start nursing school, when you dolls start nursing school, they do require that you do drug tests. They do require that you do a physical assessment to make sure that you can, what's it called? Like lift 10 to 15 pounds or whatever safely. So they do health assessment. They also do like a bunch of labs. They also want to make sure that you are like in compliance when it comes to like flu vaccines and different things of that nature. You know, COVID has definitely like brought a lot of things to light, but even before COVID, nurses, we've always been required to have to do all the vaccinations, because, you know, prior to nursing school, I never got like flu vaccines or anything like that, like religiously. But now that I am a nurse, that is something that we're required to do, or you will not be able to work at the bedside. So just take that into consideration if you're someone who's like an anti-vaccinator or someone who doesn't necessarily like to do those things. I know that sometimes they do religious exemptions, but honestly, it's not like they're like letting you get off on that easy. If you want a religious exemption, they require so much in order to qualify you for that, to where it's like, I'll be darned, like just give me the shot at this point, because like you're creating more work for me to try to get out of it versus like letting it be my choice. So Y'all, that's another thing. So you got out of high school, you got your high school diploma, you figured out what nursing program you wanted to do, AD and BSN, got in based on you meeting all of the requirements. Now step 4 is gonna be, you better pass the nursing school classes, because you are not going anywhere after that. So I would say definitely step 4 is making sure that you are being vigorous in your nursing school classes. Definitely do not stress about getting like straight A's. Honest to God, it does not matter. Like, I'm telling you right now, as long as you pass the class, y'all, listen, because don't get yourself stressed out. I understand you girls, like, I used to get straight A's, and I know that a lot of people want to keep up with that, like, you know, I'm so smart and all these straight A's and all this stuff. Nursing school is no joke. Okay, like, nursing school, I will tell you, that's one of the things that humbled me so much in life. Like, it was kind of disrespectful the way that it humbled me, but you know, it got the job done, because I understood you don't have to be the smartest. You don't have to be the smartest. You don't have to be the first. You don't have to be nothing. All you need to make sure is that at the end of the day, you understand what you need to understand, okay? Hold on. I don't know why my eyes are even watering. But anyway, so that is one little tip that I'm gonna give you guys right here in the nursing school section. Everyone who's in nursing school, it's not about the grade that you get. Like, don't get too deep into that. Obviously, you need to pass. In nursing school, they're not gonna let you continue your courses if you get any less than a C. So that is a minimum. A C is passing, a D is not passing. So as long as it's a C or above, that's when I say don't stress about the number. For as long as you pass that test, it really does not matter what the actual number was, because in nursing school, you just need to make sure that you understand the foundation. Like, don't get caught up on, like, because a lot of their tests are meant to trick you up. They're meant to try to get you to double think, and it's meant to get you to really zone in on what's right and what's just not right. So, and we'll get into another video separately if you want to know like what testing in nursing school is like. Y'all, I can let y'all know in a separate video, but it's no joke. It's not like how in regular college, you know, they just pass out the pieces of paper and everybody just sit and take it. No, they literally, like, it's all tests are kind of like proctored, like you have to be watched, like no, look, like literally it'd be like you're going for a freaking comprehend, like it's like a big test day every single time for little minor tests. They make it to where it's like no cheating, none of that. So don't think that you're gonna get in a nursing school and cheat your way through, because honestly, you're just cheating yourself. At the end of the day, when it comes down to it, if you don't know what you need to know when it's time to get on the floor, and you don't understand like those basic practices or the basic disease processes, it's gonna show, and you can only keep up the fake for so long, you know, before you make a mistake or something like that. So definitely don't go into nursing school if you're one of those people that are just gonna try to cheat your way through, because it's really not possible. Like, I'm letting you know. And I'm grateful for that, because you need to be a good nurse, and you need to actually understand, have some integrity, first of all, and also second of all, you need to make sure you understand, because people's lives are on the line, okay? That's very important to remember. So make sure that you're studying, and make sure that you're taking nursing school serious, because all of those things add up. So let me just kind of really quickly, nursing school, when you get there, it's gonna be like you have your foundation class, then you'll take like adult health 1, adult health 2, you'll take maternity, you'll take psych, like behavioral health classes, that you'll take pediatrics. They'll make sure that you get all the specialties, as well as like pharmacology, nutrition, physical assessment. They really, each program's different in how they break it up, but essentially you're getting all of those skills throughout that whole program. So make sure that you're giving it your all, because that is step number 4, is actually passing nursing school. The getting in, now that's struggle number 1, the getting in. But once you're in, it's the fight to stay on top. It's the fight to like make sure that you're being adequate, because they kick girls out of nursing school. Like, you can't just come into nursing school and fail classes. You got 2 times. The first time they put you on like academic probation, and after the second time you get kicked out of the whole program. And if you want to get back in, you literally have to like stand before the board. You literally like it's not even funny. Like it's really not even funny how little room for mistakes there are. And don't get discouraged, girls. Like it is cutthroat, but it's possible, and it's not like unattainable. I'm just letting you know what to expect, because sometimes people just don't know. But if you ever fail out of nursing school, baby, first of all, you gotta wait, like a waiting period. We only getting older. Like, next of all, then you have to like go through all these application processes. They want for you to explain to them like what was going on in your life that you failed the first time, and what's gonna be different, and what have you done to change it in order to do better the second time. Like, and you really have to stand before a board, and it's like with the dean, you have to sit before like different nursing instructors that you've had in different ones of your classes, and everybody's just kind of like sitting up there taking notes, like, and they make the decision, are you able to get back into nursing school or not? So pass nursing school, that's step number 4. Step number 5, and y'all, it ain't even done, not even done yet. Like, you can literally go through all of that, right? You can go to high school, get the good grades, you can fight your neck tooth and nail to get into nursing school. You can fight your ass off to pass your nursing classes, to pass your clinicals, get through nursing school. You got the diploma, you graduated, like, woo. Guess what? You're still not a nurse. like literally, graduating nursing school does not make you a nurse. Let's get on to step number 5. Now, this is the final step. NCLEX. So all of that training, all of those hard and long hours of studying and preparing for clinicals, this is the time where it really matters. After you graduate from nursing school, I definitely recommend that you do like NCLEX preparations. For those of you that don't know NCLEX, let me look it up. Let me look it up here. I know certain states are different. So NCLEX, it's not North Carolina. It's National Council Licensure Examination for Registered Nurses. NCLEX, National Council Licensure Examination for Registered Nurses. So, after you pass nursing school, your licensing exam is your final hurdle before you can actually put the letters behind your name. So when they be like, I earned my letters, the letters are the RN. Whenever you sign your name, then you could put RN behind it because you earned that, okay? But the NCLEX, that's how you get your official letters. After you graduate nursing school, yeah, you're a nurse, but you're not a registered nurse. You can't put the RN behind your name until you pass that NCLEX. So, and also too, they won't let you start your nursing job. So like in nursing school, everybody lines up their employment, like within that final semester, everybody's like doing interviews and they're signing up for jobs. But that's like one thing for you girls to know. Whenever you have a job, like with the hospital, it's always conditional employment. It's conditional upon you getting your licensure, upon you passing like pre-employment screenings. Everything is conditional. It's not like guaranteed that you have this job regardless, no matter what. You have to make sure that you're always like within compliance, okay? So NCLEX, that is the final hurdle that you have to do, and essentially it is a national exam that you have to sit down and take. I'm not gonna go like too much into detail. I can do a separate video for that, but like NCLEX is a, you know, like when you go to school and it's like end of grade testing, this is kind of something like that, where they're testing you on all of your foundational knowledge about nursing school. They're gonna test you on all of the different specialties that we talked about earlier, and it's not like a guideline. You don't know what the questions are gonna be. All you can do is prepare to make sure that you're ready no matter what. One of the things that I had used, I believe it was called, oh darn it, UWorld. UWorld is a really highly recommended NCLEX preparation tool, and that's what I did. I'll do another video telling you guys specifically how I prepared for NCLEX, because it's so intense and you're so stressed, because it's kind of like you have to think of every single thing that you have learned throughout nursing school. But don't get too hung up on it, because it's not like it's impossible. Essentially, throughout all of that time, you have been building your foundation. You know more than what you think that you know what I mean? In all honesty, you're gonna remember a lot of those foundation things. But the way the NCLEX works, they're testing you on like assessments. They're testing you on like abnormal findings, whether that be like abnormal labs or abnormal assessment findings. They're testing you on like signs and symptoms for different disease processes, asking you about different treatments and how would you do your nursing care according, like based on different things that may come up. They ask you a lot of like prioritization questions. Oh, if you come into work and you have these 4 patients and this is all the stuff that they have going on, who would you go see first? That type of thing. Or what is this drug commonly used for? It's random questions like that. The way that it works though with NCLEX, it's so hard because like they've changed it now. Now I feel like I'm getting old because I just graduated a few years ago, but for my NCLEX, it was still when they were doing the questions, like there was multiple choice, but with multiple choice, there was multiple choice and select all that apply and fill in the blanks. But when you do like the select all that apply, if there's 5 answer options and 4 of them are correct, you have to hit the exact 4. There's no like partial credit. There's no like any of that. You have to be either 100% right or you're 100% wrong. Also too, with the NCLEX, one of the things that had gave me like anxiety about it is that you don't know your results until like 48 hours after you take the test. It's like you sit down, you take it. There's no like clicking back on the test. Once you answer a question, that's it. There's no like multiple attempts at it. Once your test shuts off, it's done with, and you do have to pay for NCLEX and things like that. But the part that gets me anxiety was NCLEX can range on how many test questions that they give you. The shortest at that time was either 75 questions was the shortest, or either 360 questions was like the maximum. When you sit down for the test, it's based on like a scale, and I could literally talk for hours and hours about this, but the scale that they use for NCLEX, it's like if you're getting, here's the imaginary line, you literally don't see it, it's imaginary, but if you're getting questions correct, they'll keep giving you harder questions. Like, okay, this is the line. They want for you to kind of stay on the line. If you stay on the line, your questions are gonna be like the same level of difficulty. Does that make sense? But if you're answering questions correct, like you're answering them better than what they expected, then they're gonna give you hard questions, like harder and harder and harder. But it's because they're kind of testing this whole bank of questions that they have, and they're just trying to see what is likely for these people to get correct. Like, is this too hard? They have an algorithm, but if you're getting them correct, your questions are gonna get harder. If you're getting them incorrect, your questions are gonna they're still gonna keep the questions on the same level. But it's just so much anxiety because you literally never know. I finished my test, mine stopped at 75 questions. Like, the computer turned off. I was like, no, go back. I was like, please, like, I'm not done. I was like, this cannot be it. So I was like, please go back. And I was like, what the fuck? I just failed. I literally cried. Like, I cried my whole drive home. Like, I was just like, I'm so stupid. Like, that test was so hard. Like, I've never taken a test so hard, but I must have done really good because I passed and the computer turned off, and like, you're smarter than you think. So you guys, like, that essentially is all 5 steps, that you kind of need in order to be a registered nurse. I definitely wanted to make this video and kind of help you guys out and let you know what you should expect if nursing is something that you want to go into. This definitely is just like a very brief overview. I didn't want to go too much into details, but each of those individual 5 steps, there's so much information, that goes into each one. But I just wanted to give you guys a quick overview. Step 1, get out of high school, get good grades, get your high school diploma. Step 2 is going to be figuring out, do you want to do a ADN or BSN program? Step 3, meeting all of the requirements to get into that said program. Step 4, pass nursing school. It's not a joke. It's not super easy. You need to make sure that you're taking the time to actually pass your classes and learn that foundation so that you can get to step 5, which is passing your NCLEX and actually earning your letters behind your name. y'all, I hope that I didn't lose you. I hope that it wasn't too much at one time. I really hope that I was able to give you guys an understanding of what it does require. If you have not done so already, please make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. And you guys know that I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.